students, I am Sai over here. So in the previous class I have discussed the solutions or explanation for the first 12 questions in the assignment in expansion of solids. So now in this class I would like to continue the discussion of the next questions starting from question number 13 in the assignment in expansion of solids. So look at the question number 13. Two rods of same material and same length but different thicknesses are heated through same range of temperatures. Then which rod elongates more? This I have discussed one of special cases. Special case 1, you can see the notes I have discussed in the beginning. So increase in length or change in length of rod when it is heated is equal to alpha into original length into change in temperature. Here both the rods are made up of same material, therefore alpha will be same for both. They have same length L and they are heated to same range of temperature. So delta T is also same. So change in length or elongation will be same for both the rods. So both the rods elongate equally. Therefore third option is the answer. So look at the next question, question number 14. The rods in the previous question are given equal amounts of heat. Then the elongation will be. This also actually I have discussed in one of special cases. In case 2, in expansion of solids, here it is given that they are supplied same amount of heat. It's not given that they are heated through same range of temperatures. The heat absorbed by the rod, you can write mass of the rod multiplied by ordinary specific heat of the rod into increase in the temperature of the rod. So increase in the temperature, you can write heat absorbed by mass into specific heat. Both the rods are made up of same material, therefore specific heat is same. It is given that both the rods are given equal amounts of heat in this question. So delta Q is same. So increase in the temperature is inversely related to the mass. So mass of the thin rod will be naturally less than the mass of the thick rod. Then both the rods have same length and made of same material. Therefore, rise in temperature or increase in temperature for thin rod will be larger than the increase in temperature or rise in temperature for thick rod. So, increase in length can witness alpha into original length in increase in temperature. So, rate of increase in length for thin rod divided by increase in length for the thick rod will be equal ratio of the increase in temperature for thin rod divided by increase in temperature for thick rod, because alpha is same for both the rods, original length is also same. So increase in temperature for thin rod is more than the increase in temperature for thick rod, therefore increase in length or elongation for the thin rod is more than the increase in length or elongation for thick rod. So for question number 14, which I have just discussed now, second option is the answer. Look at the question number 15. An iron tire has a circumference of 314 centimeters. It is to be fitted on a wooden wheel of diameter 100.1 centimeter. By what amount the temperature of the iron tire should be increased for this purpose? So the iron tire will fit onto the wooden wheel when the length or circumference of the iron tire increases and becomes same as the circumference of the wooden wheel. That means initial length or original length denoted by L, can write 2 pi times the initial radius or pi times the original diameter. The final length denoted by L dash is equal to pi times the final diameter. So here original length L is given to be 314 centimeters. So original diameter of cross section, you can write 314, original diameter of the wheel, original diameter of the iron tire, not cross section, 314 centimeter by pi. So this pi you can write 3.14. So original diameter of the tire can be written as 100 centimeter. The iron tire fits onto the wooden wheel when the diameter of the iron tire increases and becomes same as the diameter of the wooden wheel. So the final diameter d dash of the iron tire should be same as that of the wooden wheel, that is 100.1 centimeter. So the coefficient of linear expansion alpha can be written as change in the length by original length into change in temperature. So our change in temperature or increase in temperature, T dash minus T. You can write L dash minus L by L into alpha. So L dash you can write pi into D dash. L you can write pi into D. L you can write pi into D. That means in place of length you can directly substitute the diameters of the iron tire. So pi gets cancelled. So D dash is equal to 100.1 centimeter. D is 100 centimeter. Original diameter D is 100 centimeters. So alpha is 2 into 10 power minus 6 per centigrade. So units of length centimeter get cancelled. So this you can simplify it further. So you get increase in temperature has to be 500 degrees centigrade. Those who want to copy the working of the problem, take a pause and copy the working of the problem. So for question number 15, first option is the answer. Look at the question number 16. The length of a pendulum clock increases by 0.04%. The temperature increases by 20 degrees centigrade. The time lost per hour. So as I told you, fractional change in the time period or time lost per second. I discussed in one of the special cases earlier in special case 5. You can see the notes which are discussed initially. In the special case 5, time lost per second. Nothing but fractional change in the time period. That you can write half alpha into change in increase in the temperature or change in temperature. So 1 hour means 60 minutes, or you can write 16 to 60 seconds or 3600 seconds. So time lost per hour. And write half alpha into delta t into 3600 seconds. Time loss per second numerical equal to half alpha delta t. So alpha is not directly given, you are asked, you are given the percentage increase in length. From that you can find alpha. And explained one of the previous problems, also explained in theory. So percentage increase in the length of the solid when it is heated uniformly. Alpha into delta T into 100%. Here that is given to be 0.04%. Therefore, alpha into delta T can be written as 0.04 by 100. That means fractional change in the length. Alpha into delta T gives you the fractional change in length, that can be written as 4 into 10 power minus 4. Can substitute the value of product of alpha into delta T. That means to answer the question, you don't even require this delta T here. We require the value of delta T to find alpha. So half into alpha into delta T, you can directly write 4 into 10 power minus 4. So you get 0.72 seconds. That's the answer. So if you want to copy the working or solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 16, which I just discussed now, second option is answer. See the next question, question number 17. Thin copper wire of length L increases in length by 1% when heated to a temperature T1 to T2. The percentage change in area when a thin copper plate having dimensions 12 into L is heated from T1 to T2. So you can observe that increase in temperature is same in both the cases. The increase in temperature is same in both the cases. Increase in length will also be same in both the cases. So if the length increases by 1% in the first case, in the second case also, the length will increase by 1%. The total percentage change in area of the solid. The solid is heated uniformly, is almost nearly 2 times the percentage change in the length. So it is given that length increases by 1%. So therefore area will increase by 2% for same change in temperature. Because change in temperature is same both the cases, change in length is also same. So the percentage change in the length is independent of initial area or initial length. So for question number 17, second option is answer. So look at the question number 18. A meter scale made of steel reads accurately at 20 degrees centigrade. In a sensitive experiment, distances accurate up to 0.055 millimeter in 1 meter are required. If alpha equal to 11 in 10 power minus 6 per degree centigrade, then range of temperature in which experiment can be performed with this scale is. So I have found this problem given in the HCR Rao book, Concepts of Physics, Volume 2. And similar question I think was given in one of the All India entrance exam papers. So here, that means the maximum error that is allowed, the maximum value of absolute error that can be allowed in the measurement of length by the scale is 0.055 millimeter for a original length of 1 meter. That means here alpha is given in the problem. (11 into 10 power minus 6 per degree original length of the scale is 1 meter at the temperature T equal 20 degree centigrade. So maximum error that is allowed is 0.055. That means delta L. So mod of delta L can be taken as 0.055 millimeter. Or this you can write 55 into 10 power minus 3 millimeter. And 1 millimeter you can write 10 power minus 3 meter. So that comes out to be modulus of delta L, I mean maximum value, 55 into 10 power minus 6 per degree. So coefficient of linear expansion alpha you can write delta L by L into delta T. So delta T you can write, so delta L by L into alpha. So maximum variation of the temperature that is allowed during the experiment for the given maximum error. You take delta L maximum 55. That means actual value of delta L should be between minus 55 into 10 power minus 6 to 10 plus 55 into 10 power minus 6. So maximum value of mod of delta T, maximum value of mod of delta L by L into alpha. And maximum value of delta L maximum 55 into 10 power minus 6 meters, not per degree. You correct this unit here. For original length of 1 meter. And the alpha is given to 11 in 10 power minus 6 per degree. That is maximum value of mod of delta T is 5 degree centigrade. That means actual value of delta T can be T dash minus T plus or minus 5 degree centigrade. So T dash is the final temperature up to which the given accuracy is possible. T plus R minus 5. So T, if we take 20 plus R minus 5. That means you get 25 and 15. That means then the range of temperatures where you can perform the experiment allowing for the given maximum error is in between 15 degree centigrade to 25 degree centigrade. If you want to copy the working, can take a pause and copy the working. So for question number 18, which I have just discussed, the second option will be the answer. Look at the question number 19. This also I have discussed all of special cases for percentage change in moment of inertia. This problem or this question or same model is repeated twice in EAMCET, twice or thrice in previous EAMCET exam papers. So look at the 19th question. Uniform metal rod of length L and mass M is rotating about an axis passing through one of the ends perpendicular to the rod with angular speed omega. The temperature increases by T centigrade. then change in the angular velocity is proportional to which of the following? So you can apply conservative angular momentum because when temperature changes, there will be thermal expansion due to the internal forces between the molecules or atoms in the solid. And these internal forces are moments of these internal forces cannot change the total angular momentum system. So final angular momentum system about the axis of rotation when temperature changes can be taken as equal to the initial angular momentum system about the same axis. So angular momentum of the rod rotating about a fixed axis you can write I into omega, where I is the moment of inertia of the rod and omega is the angular speed of rotation. The new angular momentum L dash can be written as I dash into omega dash. I dash is the new value of the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia in uniform rod about the axis perpendicular to its length and passing through its center is given by ml square by 12. So on the right hand side, so you can write here omega dash equal to omega into I by I dash. So I can be written as m into L square by 12. L is the initial length of the rod. Final value of moment of inertia of the rod you can write m into L dash square by 12, where L dash is the final length. M is the mass of the rod which can be assumed to be constant for the given rod. So omega dash you can write omega into L by L dash whole square. So the final length L dash can write original length L into 1 plus alpha into change in the temperature. So you get omega dash omega into 1 plus alpha into delta t power minus 2. This L gets cancelled. So 1 by alpha into delta t whole square, you can write 1 plus alpha delta t power minus 2. Because the product alpha delta t will be definitely much small compared to 1. So you can use the approximation based on the binomial theorem. That is, in general, if mod x is very small compared to 1, then 1 plus x power minus n can be written 1 minus nx, where n is a integer or rational number. So using this approximation, binomial approximation, 1 minus 2 alpha delta t. So change in the angular speed will be final angular speed omega dash minus original angular speed. If you simplify this, I'll leave the simplification of the last step to you. You get minus 2 alpha delta t into omega. So those who want to copy the solution of the problem, please take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 19, second option is answer. Look at the question number 20. Metal ball immersed in alcohol weighs W1 at 0 degree centigrade and W2 at 59 degree centigrade. The coefficient of cubical expansion of metal is less than that of alcohol. The density of metal is large compared to that of alcohol. Then, so the apparent weight is equal to true weight minus magnitude force of buoyancy. So apparent loss of weight is equal to magnitude of force of buoyancy. That is equal to volume of the liquid displaced by the body. volume of the liquid displaced by the body is equal to volume of the body when the body is completely immersed inside the liquid. So magnitude of the force of buoyancy is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body, which you can write mass of the liquid displaced by the body into G. Mass of the liquid displaced by the body can write volume of the liquid displaced in density of the liquid. Volume of the liquid displaced same as the volume of the body. So as temperature increases, volume of the body will increase, but density of the liquid will decrease. So the volume of the body at higher temperature can be written as volume of the body at the, so magnitude of force of buoyancy at higher temperature, volume of the body at the higher temperature multiplied by density of the liquid at higher temperature into G. So volume of the body at higher temperature equal to V into volume, V is the original volume of the body, into 1 plus gamma for solid into delta T. Density of the liquid at higher temperature, you can write initial density of the liquid by 1 plus gamma for liquid into change in temperature. So magnitude of force of buoyancy at higher temperature can be written as magnitude of force of buoyancy at the initial temperature into 1 plus gamma for solid into delta T by 1 plus gamma for liquid into delta T. Of course, this part of discussion I do in a more detailed way when I discuss the variation of density of substance with temperature. So, but gamma for liquid is given to be more than the value of gamma for solid. That means as temperature increases, force of buoyancy decreases. The force of buoyancy at higher temperature less than the force of buoyancy at lower temperature. Force of buoyancy or upthrust decreases. The apparent loss of weight decreases. Upthrust decreases, then observed weight or apparent weight will increase. So therefore you can conclude that apparent weight at higher temperature will be more than the apparent weight at lower temperature. Or you can say third option is answer. In case you are not able to understand this discussion, please go through my class based on variation of density with temperature. Then in special cases related to that, then you can more clearly understand this discussion. See the question number 21. Steel scale measures the length of a copper rod as L centimeter when both are at 20 degree centigrade. The calibration temperature for scale. The scale, the questions of linear expansion for steel and copper are alpha S and alpha C respectively. What will be the scale reading when both are at 21 degree centigrade? So when both are at 20 degree centigrade, length of the copper rod equal to L centimeters at 20 degree centigrade. So length of the copper rod at higher temperature 21 degree centigrade. You can write length of the copper rod at lower temperature and 1 plus alpha for copper rod into increase in temperature. That is 21 minus 20. So length of the copper rod at 20 degree centigrade is L centimeter. That is 1 plus alpha for copper into 1 degree centigrade. I mean, this is the actual length. As I discussed in special case 4 in expansion of solids. If L is the measured length, the actual length of the object measured with a metallic scale at a temperature T. That means if a metallic scale is supposed correct at temperature T, I mean, metallic scale is calibrated to show correct length at temperature T. Then when the scale is used at different temperature denoted by T dash, then actual length of the object measured by the scale at temperature T dash is equal to the measured length as measured by the scale at temperature T dash into 1 plus alpha for material of the scale into increase in temperature T dash minus T. So, the reading on the scale or the reading shown by the scale or measured length of the object is equal to actual length of the object by 1 plus alpha for material of scale into T dash minus T. So, actual length of the copper rod at T dash is here 21 degree centigrade is given as, we will calculate as L centimeter into 1 plus alpha for copper numerically by 1 plus alpha for scale or T, which is made up of steel. T dash minus T is 21 minus 20, that is 1 degree centigrade. So if you want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. In case you are unable to understand this discussion, please go back to the special case 4 which I explained to you in the explanation of solid, then again come back to this problem. Then you will be able to understand it more easily. Suppose if both the scale and rod both are made up of same metal, then alpha for rod is same as alpha for scale. Then the scale will always read the length as L centimeters even at higher temperature. And both the rod and scale are made up of same material. So if alpha is same for both the material of the rod and material of scale, then 1 plus alpha in both numerator and denominator get cancelled. In that case, measured length of the rod as measured by scale will always be L centimeters even at higher temperature if the rod and scale are made up of same metal. So for question number 21, first option is answer. I have also given the explanation for question number 22. See, in the previous question, what would be the scale reading? The scale was made up of copper. As I told you, the scale and the rod are made up of same metal, then the reading on the scale will be same at any other temperature. That is equal to L. So for 22nd question, first option is answer. So look at the question number 23. Rod of length 20 centimeter made of metal A expands by 0.05 centimeters and its temperature is either from 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree centigrade. Another rod of a different metal B having the same length expands by 0.045 centimeter for same change in temperature. Third rod made of the same length is composed of two parts, one of metal A and the other of metal B. This rod expands by 0.060 centimeter for same change in temperature. The portion made of metal A has length. So we have to find the values of alpha for A and B first. So question of A expands of material of the rod is equal to change in the length by original length into change in the temperature. So question of linear expansion of material of the rod A is equal to length for original length of 20 centimeter. Change in length for rod A is 0.05 centimeters. The temperature is increased by 100 degree centigrade. The question of linear expansion for material of the rod B. For rod B, delta L can be taken as 0.045 centimeter, and the original length L equal to 20 centimeters. And for same increase in temperature, 100 degree centigrade. Now you have a composite rod of same total length. The rod is made up of two metals A and B. Third rod has total length again 20 centimeters. If LA is the length of the part of the rod A, metal A, and LB is the length of the rod part of the metal B, that means LA is the length of portion made of metal A and LB is the length of portion made of metal B. LA plus LB is 20 centimeters. So increase in the length for the combination. That is increase in the length for the combination. That is increase in length of rod A plus increase in the length of rod B in the third rod, in the composite rod, is given to be 0.06 centimeters. So increase in the length, you can write alpha into original length into increase in temperature. So increase in the length of the rod A is equal to alpha for material of the rod A to original length of the rod A into increase in the temperature. Increase in the length of the rod B is equal to alpha for material of the rod B into original length of rod B into increase in temperature. So increase in temperature is same in all cases, equal to 100 degree centigrade. So you can take delta T common outside here. Which is equal to 100 degree centigrade. And when you substitute the values of alpha A and alpha B, you can take out some factors common outside here in both alpha A and alpha B. So on the left side, if you take delta T common, LA alpha A plus LB alpha B. So you can write delta T equal 100 degree centigrade and LA into alpha A, these factors which are common, denominator is same in both. We take that part common. So that is 0.075 plus LB into 0.045 divided by 20 centimeter into 100 degree. This whole thing can be equated to 0.06 centimeters. So those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. The calculation is not yet completed. So you can cancel 100 here and take this 20 centimeter to the right side, and you can take some factors common here. Or multiply both sides with 10 cube. You can write 75 into LA plus 45 into LB is equal to 0.06 into 1000, 60 into 20 centimeter. So on the left hand side here, you can take 15 common. 15 into 5 LA plus 3 LB is equal to 60 into 20 centimeters. You can cancel 15 here 4 times in 60. So you can write 5 LA, you can write 2 LA plus 3 LA. So that LA plus LB can substitute it as 20 centimeter from first equation. The next step. So right side you get 80 centimeters. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working and complete the simplification part. So 2 LA plus 3 into LA plus LB. You can write 80 centimeters. So you can substitute LA plus LB equal 20 centimeters from first equation. So if you simplify this, 2 LA you get 80 minus 60 centimeters or 20 centimeters. So finally you get the answer as LA equal to 10 centimeters. So those who want to copy the working can take a pause and copy the working. So for question number 23, second option is answer. Look at the question number 24. A pendulum clock with a pendulum of alpha equal to 0.7 10 power minus 6 degree centigrade has a period of 0.5 seconds and is accurate at 25 degree centigrade. The clock is used in a country where temperature average is 35 degree centigrade. What correction is necessary at the end of 30 days to the time recorded by the clock? As I discussed, this one of special cases. I don't want to repeat the working I explained in special case 4 or 5. Case 5, I think I have discussed special case 5. So when the temperature of the pendulum clock increases above that particular temperature at which shows correct time, then time lost per day can be written as half alpha into increase in temperature into 86,400 seconds. So alpha is 0.7 into 10 power minus 6 per unit. Increase in temperature is 35 minus 25 degree centigrade. So that comes out to be 0.7. 35 minus 25, 10. So 7 by 2 into 864 into 10 power minus 4 seconds. You can simplify that further. So therefore time lost in 30 days times the time lost per each day. That is 30 into 7 into 432 into 10 power minus 4 seconds. So if you want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. So if you simplify this yourself, you get the answer as 9.072 seconds. That is in close to 9.1 seconds. That means the correction that should be, that means time lost. Correction that is necessary after 30 days is 9.7 seconds. That means you have to add 9.1 seconds to the time shown by the clock to get the accurate time. So for question number 24, second option is answer. Look at the question number 25. A cylinder of diameter exactly 1 centimeter at 30 degree centigrade is to be inserted into a hole in a steel plate. The hole has a diameter of 0.99967 centimeter 30 degree centigrade. If alpha for steel is 1.1 in 10 power minus 5 per degree centigrade, to what temperature must the plate be heated? So the diameter of the plate, diameter of the hole of the plate is given to be 0.000967 centimeters. So original diameter of the hole 0.99967 centimeters. So the cylinder which has exactly diameter of 1 centimeter has a greater diameter compared to the diameter of hole. So if the cylinder is to fit into the hole in the steel plate, the size of the hole must increase. That means size of the hole in steel plate has to increase, or perimeter of the hole should increase from pi d to pi d dash. D dash is the new diameter of the hole, which should be equal to diameter of cylinder, that is 1 centimeter. As we have discussed one of the problems previously, in place of length L, we can take the diameter D in the formula. In place of final length L dash, we can take new diameter D dash, because pi will be a common factor which gets cancelled. So as I explained in one of the previous problems, the alpha you can write L dash minus L by L into T dash minus T. And this L dash minus L by L, you can write D dash minus D by D. Where D is the initial diameter of the hole in the steel plate, D dash is the new diameter of the hole in the steel plate. So increase in temperature of the steel plate, so diameter of the hole in the plate will increase. Is equal to D dash minus D by D into alpha. So D dash minus D, you can write 1 minus 0.99967 centimeter. The original diameter is approximately, you can take it as 1 centimeter. Right? Actual value is 0.99967. The alpha is 1.1 in 10 power minus 5 per degree centigrade. So if you simplify this numerator, 1 minus 0.99967 centimeter, that comes out to be 0.00033 centimeter, which you can write 33 into 10 power minus 5 centimeter. Units of length centimeter get cancelled. So denominator, we can approximate this as almost equal to 1. 33 by 11, 3. So 33 by 1.1 gets 30 degree. 10 power minus 5 gets cancelled. So T dash minus T, you will get 30 degree centigrade. So T dash minus T, you get 30 degree centigrade. So if T is our initial temperature, which you can take it as 30 degree centigrade. So if you simplify, you get T dash equals 60 degree centigrade. That means the steel plate has to be heated to 60 degree centigrade for the cylinder to pass exactly into the hole. So want to copy the working, take a pause and copy the working. I will continue to discuss next class.